you work out of Florida, I work out of Wisconsin. I have customers all over the world. You do as well. And sometimes, quite often, actually, we learn from those customers because the climate is so vastly different and things are done so much differently in these locations that we have to adjust in our even our questions when we're trying to sniff out the root of a problem. So I want to go back to one thing you said was, finding that one rusty nail. I mean, that sure, it's just one rusty nail, but as you said, that could lead to what's going on behind that wall. And so it's being cognizant of those things. And I think of a job that I was working on maybe 10 years ago, a client of mine, brand new construction, wonderful, healthy house for what they could do. And I think they moved in the home during summertime. As of the following summer, and probably a few months less than that, they were tearing down the north elevation of the house to rebuild it. And the reason for that is during the siding phase of construction, the siding contractor did not install the flashing around the dryer vents properly. And there was basically moist, drier air pushing into that wall cavity all throughout winter and spring. And then summer comes and they notice moisture on the inside of the wall because obviously all that moisture that was pushed into the walls turned into ice crystals. It all froze. And then by spring and summer, it all melted. And they only noticed the problem actually before that because they got their dryer vents clean because all of a sudden the dryer vent wasn't working properly and it was shutting off the dryer. So they started, doing a snaking down there to try to figure out what the problem was. And they realized, well, that the problem is it doesn't actually go to the outside; it goes to in the wall. And so after a small bit of investigation, again, they tear down the wall. The entire north elevation of the home is full of black mold. And so we have to be willing to look at those little things, those little details that may turn into the big problem and catch them early. Because again, even on a brand new home, it could be a problem. And we see this quite often in new homes. Typically, if you're going to have mold in the exterior cavity wall of a home, it's going to happen usually within the first 2 to 3 years of construction because of things like flashing detail issues, because of the fact that the average new home built today has 300 to 500 gallons of moisture in the air and from construction, and it's trying to get out. And as it tries to get out, it gets locked in that cavity wall. And if it is that perfect storm of maybe some mold on the studs, and it's a warm, now damp environment because of that moisture, it can lead to serious problems. And so it is definitely something we got to look at from new construction, that point on, building these homes, not to avoid any mold whatsoever, but to utilize different materials and methods that we know it's not a sustainable food source for mold. It's not a sustainable environment. It's a very simple process, I think, if you do it during construction. It doesn't really cost much at all. And I think this would improve construction tremendously.